Welcome. My name is William J. Rothwell. Every month, Rothwell and Associates issues a newsletter. And with the newsletter, we offer a brief video to emphasize some of the key points that appear in that newsletter. What do we mean by the term talent? So there's actually several possible ways to understand that term, and it's important in your organization to get clear what your leaders mean by the term talent. So one way to think about talent is very simple. Talent means gifts. Gifts that people either are born with or that they develop over time. And so gifts, another way to say that is your personal strengths. What do you do best? That could be considered talent. So when we use the term talent management, that word talent is critical, what our understanding of it means, because we've got to be clear about that if we're going to manage that. Okay, so one understanding is at the individual level. Talent could mean personal strengths. Another way to understand talent is by category of worker. And this is very common in many organizations. Some of you have probably seen a 3x3 or 2x2 grid with performance on one side and potential on the other side of that grid. So one side says performance, and that side represents current job performance, present job performance. The other side says potential. Well, that term has often been confused. People are not too clear. What does potential mean? One very clear way to think of potential is promotability. Is the person promotable? So, performance, how well are they doing their current job? Potential, how well do we think they would perform if they were promoted? So we can grid all of our workers using data into different categories based on those two very simple but profound categories. How good is their job performance, and how well do we think they are promotable? And if we do that, people who have high current performance and who have high potential for promotion, we would consider to be stars. And those people also go by other names: stars, high flyers, high potentials, superstars, water walkers. Those are all some of the names that are used to represent that group. Now, what percent of our organization's workforce should be high potentials? Is it possible that our company could have 100% high potentials? It may sound good in theory, but it's actually been tried, and it was a dismal disaster. Very simple reason why. Because you got to start someplace. And if the people you're starting with, choosing people who are high potentials, are not themselves high potentials, then you're going to end up with high potentials, extremely talented people, reporting to people, their bosses, who are not high potentials, and that will lead to a lot of problems. It will probably lead to high turnover, low productivity, low morale, low customer service, and we may have a lot of talented people, but if they can't work with their boss, they're going to have big problems, and they can't work with each other because they might all think they're prima donnas. So a common rule of thumb is not 100% of our company should be superstars or high potentials. About 1% to 10% is a common rule of thumb of people who are in that particular cell on this grid. And that's the group. This grid is really an investment grid. It says where we'll get our best payoff from investing money in the development of these people. So we're going to get our best payoff on those high potentials because the research says they may be as much as 20 times more productive than the average worker. Let me say that again, up to 20 times more productive than the average worker. Well, obviously, when CEOs hear that, their first reaction is, HR, quit giving us average workers. Give us only high potentials, because each of them, we're paying all of these people about the same amount of money, but these people are worth 20 people. So obviously, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that the payoff is dramatic to get more of those high potential, highly talented people. So that's one grid. And for talent management purposes, we have to have some objective, systematic way to identify who those high potentials are. We don't trust managers to do this. And in another video segment, I'll explain why manager opinion alone is not necessarily a good idea. We need to have objective methods to determine who is a high potential. We have to have objective ways to measure performance, and we need objective ways to measure promotability or potential.